peace, and love. Welcome back to tunjitalks, the home of I Have a Thirst. To get your copy of my brand new book, Whiteboard Black Pieces Race in the West, click the Amazon link in the description down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support the channel. There are two options, Cash App and PayPal. For Cash App, #tunjitalks, that's #tunjitalks, or PayPal, paypal.me/tunjitalks, that's paypal.me/tunjitalks. Right, so today I bring to you part 2 of the conversation I had with my grandma, and we are talking about her Windrush story. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you part 2 of Windrush, a St. Lucian story. I'm going home one day tomorrow. We are back for part 2. So let's get stuck in. So we left off. We talked about you went to work at ABC Cafe. And what work did you do there?
Working, clear the table, fix up tables, passing the food, tea, coffee. I was passing tea, coffee for people when they come, and when they left, clear the table. Wiping, pulling the paper, putting the glass for when people come to eat. That's it, I was doing. Why I left is because the job was coming so hard. I alone was there. They was waiting for somebody so many months. That person from St. Lucia, I didn't know who it was. And when I find out, one day, I was so tired, I was going down the stairs. When to come back up, I fall down. I fell. So I said to myself, oh my God, I'm going to kill myself because I'm so tired. Because I alone do 2-person job. So anyway, afterwards, I had to leave. And then sometime I work Saturday, Sunday as well. You know, coffee shop. You work Saturday, you work Sunday. Maybe Sunday half day or something. Anyway, I left. Somebody make a job for me. I go, oh, I was so embarrassed when I go factory. When I come to have my breakfast, I say, where's the sit down? I say, oh, you sit on a box somewhere. I say, sit in a box. I say, where's the table where we can eat like that? They have a canteen, but you don't want to go in the canteen. I go in the canteen and eat. Because you can't just sit down in a box where you put the cup, where you put the tea, you know. Anyway, I used to go in the canteen and eat. Mm. And I stayed there quite a while, but the place was cold, very, very cold. So people said to me, before I get arthritis, you know, so I must try and leave. So anyway, I stay long as I can, and the old lady did love me so much. When I left, when I give her notice, she said, oh, and you have somebody you can rely on, they have to leave you and go. So I feel sorry for her, but myself, I must look after myself. Mm-hmm. So my brother-in-law make a job for me in paste stuff, that in Bermondsey.
Paste stuff?
Yeah, paste and stuff. They do custard powder, they do baking powder, they do jelly, they do all kind of thing in that place. They do Epsom salt, they do all different things in the place. So I go there and work, and I get a good, nice old lady. And it was like a family to us afterwards. And it happened when in the pay stuff, I getting married, and they was very nice to me and so on. So I stayed there for 11 years. And when I left there, the factory moved to Dunstable in the country. So afterwards I need a job. So I stay a while in the house and I get a job in Anchor Butter. I stay in Anchor Butter for 11 years. And after work, I don't work again because I start get sick, I start get arthritis, I start get pain here, pain there, because there was a very cold place. So after that, I just stay, do little job here and there until I get my pension, my retire pension. Because when I leave Anchor Butter, I wasn't 60 yet. Then I get my pension and do what I can. I work, And that was it.
How was it working at Anchor Butter? What was your role there?
Machine operator. I used to operate a machine. I put the thing in the wrapper and then the machine do the packet. And you put the box in the machine and you fill up and you put it on the belt. And that's it. That's what I do for 11 years. I do, when the factory closes, I do the last box. Sometimes I dream I do in the last box. I dream I on the machine working. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, that one went to somewhere. Where is ice? I can't remember the name of the place.
One thing that's like quite important to our family is like the church, and what was your experience of so in St. Lucia you attended Catholic church,
Yeah.
and that continued when you came here to Britain. So, but what was it like growing up in the church in St. Lucia?
It was good. I used to go to church. I wake up. Sometimes I wake up 6 o'clock in the morning and I used to go to church in St. Lucia. But when I came here, I started going to church. Well, let me try to remember. Oh, I started going to church in East Street. The very first time I went to church with my friend Frances, she took me to East Street. And I think that same English matters, She took me to East Street Church. And then I've been going to church there. Then afterwards I go to church in the Fiery. I get the Fiery when we moved in the Fiery. So I go to church there. Every time I can, I went to church. Afterwards, I go to church until they make me a minister, Eucharist minister. I serve in the church. I serve with the priest. I serve at the altar. I went to Poland. I went to Holy Land. I went to Lourdes with the church. So that will make me go closer to the church. So I went to different places praying. And now I can't go nowhere, but I used to go when I can. I went to Magic Glory, me and Teresa, my sister. Boat and coach. We take the boat to cross the channel. And we go back in the same way.
So you talked about going to Poland and the Holy Land. So let's talk about Poland first. So how was that experience going to Poland with the church?
It was very good, very experience. Different place you pray, different place you do this, different that. You go into a different hotel every day. You wake up in that hotel. You pack your bag, you go to the other one that night. Then you go again the other night. If you go for 10 days, that 10 hotel in it. Remember? We used to go. And then that how we work in the pilgrimage. I remember one time I went to Lourdes with my sister-in-law from New York. And they take my passport and my sister-in-law passport in my bag. I didn't know. When we take holy water, so when I go back to the hotel, I don't see my passport. It's an envelope, and you have my address, my room number, the hotel number, everything in that envelope. So good thing I didn't have money in there. So when I say, oh my God, what I'm going to do? My passport, my sister-in-law passport, they all gone. So we stay in the hotel room, and when we go for dinner, supper, I told her, sit down, I'm coming. Before I go, I called God so many times, help me, how I'll get that passport. So when I go, I put a sit down when I go by in the office at the desk. And I tell them, I lost my passport. So I tell the lady then. As I tell her, she bend down like that under the desk and she bring me and hold it. I say, oh my God. He say, a man bring it. I say, who bring the passport? He say, a man bring it on a motorbike. I say, I could give him something. He say, he didn't say, just give it to her and let it. He left. So I say, anyway. So I say, God loved you so much. Then afterwards, I went to Poland. And that's the day they cut my bag on my side. When I come in that night, I go the night to see how much money I have left for my holiday, for the pilgrimage. When I look, the bag have a big hole in it. The knife could have stabbed me in it. But so lucky the bag was pad. Patricia bought the bag for me from America. And I had the bag on my side. And when I look, I see they cut the bag. But the money was the side, my stomach side. So they cut it, but they didn't get anything. So that was my last trip. So I can call myself lucky. The passport get back to me. The bag they cut, nothing happened. Then I used to go to Houston every first Saturday in the month. And I go to Walsingham. I go to Elsod. I used to go to Elsod overnight, Saturday night till Sunday morning.
For pilgrimages?
Yeah, we used to go by coach, a few people, We slept there in the chapel, pray all night. And in the morning I had to rush, come home back quickly and go and serve in the church, in the priory. Yeah, so I tried so God as much as I can. Then I used to go to Woolwich. I used to go to Woolwich for prayer and healing. Whole day Saturday. That one was a Friday, last Friday, first Friday in the month. Either the first Friday or last, I can't remember. We used to go there and pray for a whole day, Saturday, and come back home Friday.
So your last trip was very eventful, but you also mentioned that you were able to go to the homeland with the church. So you went to Israel.
Yeah.
So what was? So how many times did you go to Israel? Only once?
Once.
And what was that experience like going to Israel? Oh, and how long was it for?
10 days. 10 days. And it was very, very holy there. See a little child coming, like, you just kneel down. Kneel down, they have the like the light going there, you see the saint, like the light going there. Yeah. Flash, the light flash, and you see the saint. So you see everybody kneel down, every little child praying, very holy. And the priest we was with was like to go to Poland, because the people there say very forward, they're very holy people. So that's what, when I was in Poland, I was born.
You were able to go into the Black Sea. What was that experience like?
Floating in your back. Until I go to the Black Sea, I went to the River Jordan. When I fall in the sea, I was taking swimming lessons. I could swim a little. I fall underneath the water. When I reach far away, I try to put my foot down. I can't find the ground. So I try to swim back. I didn't know they had the danger. The ribbon, they put danger. I was on the danger side. Yeah. So when I come, when your time not there, God help me everywhere I turn from God. Yeah, Father Ambrose says, see, I come in. Oh, God, yeah. First thing when I reached the Holy Land, first thing happened, my cardigan fall in the River Jordan. I remember, because when I told people, they say, oh, I have cardigan, I wouldn't wash it. I would never wash it, because it dropped in the River Jordan. It blessed it.
If you could go back in time, would you still make the decision to come to Britain? Or would you decide to stay in St. Lucia?
I don't know, if my family were still there, if I had family there, I didn't mind. Can't really make up my mind. If I was still young, but if I was aged and sick, I wouldn't come in. Because when you come, you can't walk. My mom was lucky; she never walked. We support her because she was, But if you come here young, you have to work, innit?
Yes. Are you happy with the decision you made?
Yeah, I never regret I come here. I don't regret. Never say I regret I come here, I make a few trips home. I travel a lot. A lot. Make so many trips home after, here and there, because I want to go home for retire, but my husband didn't want to go, so that's why in the country. He never went to go, so he died here, so I'm going to die here too, I suppose, when the time comes.
I'm going home one day tomorrow. And that is all for today. If you have any questions or comments, please leave those down in the comments. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you so much for listening. I'll see you soon.